Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. How are you? I hope you're fine and doing very well. I welcome you back to another episode of English Podcast with Asif. My name is Asif and this is my podcast. Generally speaking, it's about English, as you all know. But I do other sorts of things as well, like talking about some issues or topics, discussing with guests sometimes if I have them. But the main idea is it's going to help you learn English. Because I believe we need two things to speak well. Number one, words or sentences. And number two, thoughts, ideas. And both are provided through these podcasts. So wherever you are, I welcome you. You may be right now trying to sleep, or you may be in the car, or you may be working in kitchen, or doing different sorts of things, because the idea of podcasting is that you can listen to it anywhere. You don't have to look at the screen. You can just play it and then you can listen it wherever you are. You're in a car, you're doing some other sorts of work, you can listen to that. So wherever you are, I welcome you to the 14th episode of English Podcast with Asif. Today I am going to give you 15 idioms which are going to boost your language, because the idea is if you use idiom, you enrich your language, you feel more confident because you say a lot through a few words. I'm going to tell you what idioms basically are later, but before that I would like to give you a good news. That is, many people have been asking me to start a separate language class where they are going to learn every day and learn a lot about language, maybe through varied vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and some other skills like literary skills, maybe poetry and stories, because these two supplement your language, and there is a lot. So the problem was that they were from different areas and different locations. I could not have clubbed them in one location. So the idea recently came to my mind that I should start it online, maybe through Zoom. We are going to learn variety of things in this class. So do register. The details are given in the description. So do register right now and get more details about the course. And we'll see you maybe in the class. So let's get back to our topic, idioms. I'm going to give you 15 idioms in this episode, but before I give you them, let's understand what idioms are. An idiom, you must know, is simply a phrase. Phrase means a group of words, but which means something different from its real meaning, literal meaning. And they are, as you cannot understand them by just reading them, they are understood by their popular use. So you must know an idiom before you use it, and you must know idiom when it's being used by some other speaker. So it's going to help you to become a better listener, because you're going to understand the native speakers, because they keep on using idioms in their speaking. And furthermore, it's going to help you to become a better communicator, better speaker, and confidence it is going to instill in you. Because when you use idioms, you sometimes create fun, humor, and when you make people laugh, it's going to give you kind of satisfaction as a speaker. So idiom, again I'll tell you, idiom is a group of words which has another meaning, which has different meaning than its real literal meaning. For example, let me give you an example. In hot water, it's an idiom. Literally it means to be in. If you say I'm in hot water or I was in hot water, literally it means that you were in a tub of hot water. But idiomatically it means to be in a difficult situation. For example, if you say that during that interview I was in hot water, or I found myself in hot water, that means in that interview or during that interview you were in a difficult situation. Maybe the questions were tough, so you found yourself in a difficult situation. Another example would be raining cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs. It does not mean that the cats and dogs are descending upon the earth, but rather it means that it's raining heavily. Okay, so raining cats and dogs, you can say it's raining cats and dogs, so it means it's raining heavily. Another example would be kick the bucket. So it literally means you kick the bucket, you just throw the bucket away with your kick, but it idiomatically means to die. So everybody has to kick the bucket. We got to do good deeds before we kick the bucket. So here are 15 idioms for you. Let you learn them well, understand them well, try to put them in use and repeat them with you, and then a time will come that you will be mastering these 15 idioms. If you get only these 15 idioms, they are almost enough for you to be a better speaker today. So I would want you to understand the meaning and then try to make the sentences. So be active in this episode. Try to make the sentences maybe in your mind, and you can even type in the comment box. You can sometimes pause the video till you type the comments. Idiom number 1, beat about the bush or beat around the bush. It means discussing a matter without coming to the point. In other words, it means digressing from the main point. Beat about the bush. So I can tell you, don't beat about the bush, get to the point. So let me not beat about the bush. I keep on using it. I think I used it before. So without beating about the bush, let me come to the point. So you can use this idiom whenever somebody tries to talk about something, but he or she does not come to the main point. So you can ask them, don't beat about the bush, come to the point. Okay, so number 2 is hold your horses. It's not horses. Many people pronounce it as horses. It's horses, HORSES, and Americans say it horses. Okay, they pronounce the word with the letter R. So hold your horses, it means wait a minute, to be patient, or hold on. Okay, so you would be wanting to learn all the idioms at once. So I will be telling you, hold your horses. I'll get to all these idioms one by one. So hold your horses. Number 3 idiom is under the weather. It means being unwell. It's my favorite. Okay, I have a funny story to tell you about it. That once I was absent in my college, and a student messaged me and asked me, why are you absent today? I said, I'm under the weather. And he said, yes sir, it was too cold today. It does not mean too cold, it means to be unwell. So example is, I am feeling a bit under the weather. I think I'm getting a cold. Okay, next one is cost an arm and a leg. Cost an arm and a leg. It means to be extremely expensive. Okay, if something is extremely expensive, it means it costs an arm and a leg. Okay, for example, I would love to go on a vacation with my friends, but it would cost me an arm and a leg. Number 5 is piece of cake. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Cake, It means very easy. So learning idioms are piece of cake. Don't worry, it's a piece of cake. So you can make a sentence in the comment box below. Next one is opposite to piece of cake, that is very difficult. Let me give the idiom for very difficult. If you have an idiom in your mind, you can share with me. So it is hard nut to crack. Hard nut to crack. It means very difficult. Is learning English a hard nut to crack for you, or a piece of cake? Let me know in the comment box. Number 7 is ball in your coat. Ball in your coat. COURT, coat. It means it's your responsibility now to take action or make a decision. For example, you are suggesting someone a few things and they are not taking action. So your job is to tell them, and the ball is in their court. That means it's their responsibility to take the decision. I have given him all the details. The ball is in his court. I have given you the details of the course that I'm going to start maybe from 1st of February 2021. Now the ball is in your court, whether you want to join or you don't want to join. The ball is in your court. Idiom number 8, bolt from the blue, or in other words we use out of blue. It means a complete surprise or totally unexpected thing. If something happens unexpectedly, it's a bolt from the blue. For example, your friend got married and he or she informed you later, and it was really shocking for you. So you can tell them or tell him or her that the news came as a bolt from the blue. Number 9, leave no stone unturned. Leave no stone unturned. UNTURNED. It means to try every possible way to achieve something. For example, I left no stone unturned to learn English. Did you leave no stone unturned for something? Let me know in the chat box. Okay, idiom number 10, call a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade. SPADE. Spade is a tool, as you know. To call a spade means to say the truth about something, even if it's not polite or pleasant. You don't feel embarrassed to tell the truth. For example, we often are reluctant to see any faults in our friends. I think it's better to call a spade rather than spoiling them more by keeping quiet. So we should call a spade. You think so? Or we should hide it? Idiom number 11 is hit the nail on the head. Oh my God, this is very cruel, isn't it? Okay, now it means here idiomatically, it means to describe something exactly. Okay, to describe exactly what's causing a situation or problem. Okay, so for example, your friend is in some problem and you're able to decipher it, and you are able to tell him or her that what are the things which cause the problem, and if you are able to hit it well, and they can tell you, you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. For example, your phone is not working and your friend tells you actually the problem is with the battery. So you can tell them you have hit the nail on the head. That is actually the actual problem, the real problem, the exact problem. Okay, I would like to give you another one here. It won't be counted. It is nailed it. Okay, it is an idiom. It means to do something successfully. For example, your friend is performing and he or she performed well, so you can tell them you nailed it. You nailed it. That means you did it successfully. You totally nailed it. Okay. So number 12 is bury the hatchet. Bury, BURYTHEHATCHET. Bury the hatchet. Many people mispronounce this word bury. BURY. They say bury or bury. It's not bury or bury. It's bury. Bury the hatchet. It means, it's a very useful idiom. It means to make peace, to stop fighting and be friends again. For example, you see your friends, maybe you see two people fighting with each other, so you can tell them, hey, bury the hatchet. Bury the hatchet. That means stop fighting, make peace, be friends again. Okay, number 13 is my favorite, although all of them are my favorite, so this one too is my favorite. Wet behind the ear. Wet, W-E-T, behind the ears. Wet behind the ears. Wet behind the ears is an sort of adjective, so it means an immature person, an inexperienced person. So if somebody is wet behind the ears, so he's immature. So it was easy to know that he was wet behind the ears the way he wrote the story. So if somebody is writing the story not in a nice manner, not in a keeping all the technicalities into consideration, so you can make a judgment about him or her that he's wet behind the ears. He is wet behind the ears. That means to be immature or to be inexperienced. Okay, he's wet behind the ears when it comes to talking in public. So that means he's not good at that. He's immature, inexperienced. He's wet behind the ears when it comes to teaching. Okay, so let's go ahead. Idiom number 14. From scratch. Very easy. It's piece of cake, okay? From scratch. It means from the very beginning. Okay? If you are doing something from scratch, you're doing it from the beginning. So if you did not understand all these idioms well, so you can begin from the scratch, or you can hear it from the scratch or from scratch. Like Ahmed built his firm or business from scratch. 15th one is horse of a different color. This is the last idiom, horse of a different color. So when we say something is horse of a different color, it means it's a different issue. Okay, it's a completely different issue. So, or it's something else we're talking about. For example, you and your friend is talking about something, and another person comes and tells you, are you talking about this? No, you can tell them, no, it's horse of a different color. That means it's a different issue. It's not your cup of tea, maybe. So a cup of tea is also an idiom. So these were all idioms, 15 idioms we did today. Around for 20 minutes we have been talking, and you have been listening. Thank you so much for so patiently listening. I want you people to write these idioms down on your notebook. If you are busy right now, you can listen to this episode later again. So it's worth listening. Listening is really a worth having quality. You should be a good listener in order to be a good speaker. You can never ever be a good speaker, a good communicator, unless you listen a lot. All of us want to speak English the way native speakers speak English, but are we willing to listen to English as much as native speakers do listen? They listen to English from dawn to dusk, and that's why they are fluent, they are flawless in speaking, as compared to those who do not listen to language a lot. So listening is prerequisite. Listening is important. I think compulsory it is. So you can listen to this episode again and try to write all these idioms and try to make sentences on each of them, and you can share these sentences with me in this in comment box, so that maybe I make some correction, or I appreciate. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much once again for joining us. If you are new to the podcast, please do support by subscribing and by sharing with others, so that others too would learn. And if you really want to be part of our classes, so you can message me. The phone number is given in the description, and you will enjoy, I'm assuring you. So thanks again for patiently listening. Take care of yourselves. God be with you.